Finally, I am excited to talk about Bond again. Finally. The Living Daylights is directed by John Glenn and stars Timothy Dalton, Miriam Diabo, Jeroen Krabbe, and Joe Don Baker and John Rhys Davies. Of course, the first thing we get in this that is noticeably different and great is Timothy Dalton's performance. He is refreshingly dark and serious, but there's still a lot of humor to him, which is nice. It's not just like, I'm so dark and gritty. There's nothing fun about me, even though there should be. So there's still the humor that Bond has in these movies, which is nice. But he's a dark and serious Bond, which I like. The score for this movie was great. This was John Barry's last Bond film, and he delivers honestly one of his best. And then, of course, a-ha's The Living Daylights, which is the title song, is extremely catchy because it is an a-ha song. So, yeah. Sadly, though, this movie is not perfect. There's still a lot wrong with it, and I will get to it. The plot is not coherent. It's trying to rely too heavily on sort of but muddled things a little too heavily. Also, it's hard to do a whodunit when you reveal pretty much everything to the audience, and then are like have the characters solve it, even though you're just sitting there being like, all right, so you told, while you're sitting there going like, wait, so you just told us this, but now you're also telling us this, which leads to this, and maybe this is connecting, but it's probably not, even though you already gave us the answer, but then you're trying to make us second guess ourselves. And just trying to recount the plot with all its twists and turns, it's a bit of a headache. For as great of a film this is, it deserved a better Bond girl. Miriam Diabo isn't given a compelling performance, and her character is nothing special. She's just kinda there, which is John Glenn once again comes back and gives us brilliant action sequences. Not only are they cool and brutal, but they also strike a perfect balance with the silliness, like Bond sliding on a cello case. The balance is perfect. While there are some, no, while I said, like For Your Eyes only did a really good job of balancing it, it's nothing in comparison to the balancing of the tones in this movie. I think he was able to find the right balance. He's able to give us the right amount of dark to make us take this movie seriously and like it, but also enough lightheartedness. It's still a PG movie, so this was still technically meant for kids. So you still wanted kids to come to the theaters and be like, yeah, James Bond, so cool. And I think you got that perfect balance. Some people are recasted like Miss Moneypenny and Felix Leiter. The new actors are fine, they just don't do anything. For Moneypenny, you really miss Lois Maxwell. Her presence is sorely missed in this one. There's never a Felix Leiter actor until Jeffrey Wright, who is in Casino Royale. Then I believe he reprises his role in Quantum. And then he's in the cast list and trailer for No Time to Die, so I'm excited about that. So there's never really a Felix Leiter actor that you could get attached to, but he's in this movie, and the Miss Moneypenny, we always got Lois Maxwell, now we got a new actress, and it's like, I prefer Lois Maxwell. Thankfully, Desmond Llewellyn reprises his role as Q, because Q is great. I love Q. He's amazing, and Desmond Llewellyn is amazing. May you rest in peace. There's a subplot that hasn't aged well, but also it ages fine if you think about history. Like if you're watching this now and not knowing history, then you're like, oh my god, why are they doing that? Why did they put that in there? But if you know history, then it sort of makes sense. That is the Mujahideen subplot, otherwise known as the Taliban. Now, this was a different time. There was a point in history where people, when, well, say the Americans allied themselves with Osama bin Laden to fight communism. And now we know, first we were allies, so we were temporarily like, all right, we don't want communism, so we'll help each other out. To now we put him in the bottom of the ocean. Things change. Britain and the U.S. fought 2 wars against each other. Now we're allies. Things change. But so I can understand, historically, it makes sense around time. And I feel like you've got to know that going into this movie, that there is a subplot where Bond teams up with the Taliban. And back then, we were fine with the Taliban. We're not anymore, but we were then. But this team up does lead to an amazing final action set piece. It's a cool shootout through most of it, but then there's this awesome plane action sequence, and there is no way Uncharted 3 was not inspired by this movie when they made the plane set piece in that game. Literally looks like straight out of Uncharted 3, but obviously this came out before Uncharted 3. Anyway, one of my favorite games. I love the Uncharted franchise, so it was cool to see that. It's cool to see that one of my favorite franchises influenced another one of my favorite franchises. That makes me happy. Overall, this film is great, so I am going to give The Living Daylights a 89 communist defectors out of 100. If you were like me and really getting sick of the Roger Moore era, I mean, he's got 7 films. Roger, I love you. Rest in peace. I loved you, but you were overstaying your welcome, especially with your age. But if you're like me, and you need to change of pace, and you like Bond, then seriously check out the Timothy Dalton movies. He sadly only has 2. Both those movies were really good. So check them out. Have you seen The Living Daylights? If so, tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. If you like this review, make sure to like and subscribe. This is Jordan from Jordan Reviews. Signing off.